Anyone missing a handout? No? Okay, class. My name is Mr. Garcia, and today we're going to continue with the same topic, okay? Which is rational expression from the last tutor. So can you tell the difference between the fractions and a rational expression? What is the difference?
X is in the bottom.
She said an X, but is there any other name for that letter?
A variable.
Variable, right? That's the only difference between fractions and rational expression, okay? Pretty much the same thing. When you work with the fractions, you have to find first, what is the first step? In order to either add or multiply or divide, add or subtract. Denominator, right? In this case, we're gonna find the same thing. The LCD, which is
Least common
the least common denominator, not divisor. Denominator, right? So, even my rational expression, the only thing is the variable, right? The letter, that's it. In this case, can I continue or do I have to wait?
Continue.
For the reason,
Because they have the same.
the same denominator, right? Okay, so I have 3x, right? Since what's next?
Subtract the other 2.
Right, the same, right? A minus 2. Now, can I continue?
Yes.
Because I have the same
Yeah.
LCD, right? So I get A minus 2, 6 over.
3x.
Now, in rational expression, we have to do the same thing. We have to reduce to the lowest term. Only what we call simplify, but it's the same thing. Reduce to the lowest term. Okay? Is there any factor they have in common?
Sorry,
For the
yes.
numerator? Which one?
3.
The 3, right? How many times the 3 goes into 6?
2.
Twice. 2.
Now, this is a monomial, algebraic expression, right? Which I can break it into 2, right? Yes, right? So, the 3 also goes into the 3x, right?
Yes.
So, in this case, I'm dividing, right? 6 divided by 3, which is 2, and 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So, I just write x, right?
Yes.
So this is my solution. Okay? Now, let's go to this problem to your right. In this case, I have a,
4x and 7. They're different denominators.
so in this case, I need to what?
Find
to
the-
find
The least common denominators.
denominator. It's a monomial, it's a natural number, right? So let's pay attention to the coefficient. What is the coefficient of 4x?
4.
And having 7.
It's a prime number, so it's
So what is the least common multiple?
2.
4 and 7.
None. Wait.
Remember, the same way as you trying to subtract fractions, you need to find the least common denominator. What is the least common denominator between 4 and 7?
2. 1.
The least common denominator, for example, you have 1 4 plus 1 7. What is the least common denominator?
4.
1.
Going backwards.
4.
Let me help you. How about 1 half plus 1/3? The least common denominator is 6. how many times you go from 2 to 6 to make it equal?
Three times.
Right? This is the least common denominator. What is the least common denominator between 4 and 7?
28.
28. That's right. Just pick the greater, okay? 7. Now, what am I missing? 4x and 7. Okay, now, I took care about the coefficient. How about the x?
Stays the same.
So we need another x, right?
Oh, times x.
That way we have the least common denominator, okay? To make it equal, 4x, to make it equal to 28x. What number, what factor I need to multiply 4x in order to make it 28x?
7.
Just plain 7?
Yeah.
And whatever I need to make it equal, I have to apply to the numerator, right?
Yes.
So what is 3 times 7?
21.
Now, I should practice, right? How about here? I have 7 times
4x.
what? Give me 28x.
4x.
4x, right? What is my next step?
You do multiply it to the top.
Whatever I apply to the numerator, right? I have to do to the numerator. So 1 to 4x is just 4x. In this case, since I have the same LCD, I can combine, if it's possible. Can I combine, can I simplify 21 negative 4x?
No.
For what reason?
Because
Because
there's
they have
one
a-
variable.
one has an
It's a
x, the
verb.
other one
It has an x. Now, can I simplify 21 minus 4x over 28? Is there any factor they have in common?
No. 7.
You have an odd number, right? And 2
Even though.
even, so there's no way. Okay?
So is it 21 minus 4x, right?
That's not my final.
Oh, so,
Since I can be simplifying more, I stop there, okay? Remember, simplify is the same as reduce to the lowest term. It's the same thing. As you apply to fractions, this is to rational expression.
It should be the pen.
Oh. Now,
No.
let's go to the following.
Yeah, but
Which one?
the arrow to the right.
This one?
No, to the right, more to the right. The one next to undo. To the
Next to the what?
This one? Okay. Now, let's move to the next one. In this case, also for rational expressions, you have to make sure iterate factor out. Can I reduce x minus 3? All right, it's 1, it has 1 as a coefficient, right? So in this case, it's already simplified,
Yes.
okay? Now, in this case, it's already simplified to the lowest term, so just pick the two of them to find the LCD. In this case, it's x minus 3, x minus 1. Okay? For the reason we have a prime number and the lowest, the small number is 1. Okay? So that's my LCD, the least common denominator. Now, whatever I'm missing from that denominator, for example, in the first fraction, which is x minus 3, what am I missing to make it equal to the new denominator?
Oh, so like x minus 1 on x minus 3.
Right? That's right. So I need to apply to make it equal. I'm missing the x minus 1.
Yes.
How about my fraction to the right? What am I missing?
X minus 3.
X minus 3. Now,
You do it on the numerator.
what comes next?
You do it. We did.
We have to apply it, right? So 2 times x,
2x.
2 minus 1 times 1, 2 times negative 1.
Minus 2.
Now, what's next?
You do it.
I have the,
Numerator.
I need to apply to the other fractions, right? So what is my result? If I multiply negative 1 times x minus 3, somebody tell me. What is it?
1x minus.
I distribute right?
X
Again,
minus 3.
negative 1 times x is just
Negative x.
negative 1 times negative 3.
Positive x. Positive 3.
And just make the fraction marks larger, okay? Can I keep going?
In the uno, x minus 3, how do you get a negative x?
2 times x, 2x. I distribute, right? What am I missing from this denominator to make it equal? What am I missing? I'm missing the x minus 1, right? I have an x minus 3, right? So this is my LCD, right? What am I missing? I have to make it equal, the denominator, right? So what am I missing? I apply to its respective numerator, okay? 2 times x, 2x, 2 times negative 1, negative 2. Now we have the same least common denominator, right? Can I simplify the numerator part? Is there
Yes.
anything common?
Yes.
What is it?
2x minus x.
I thought it because I thought you would like you distribute the 1 times x.
Have 2x minus x equals
X.
negative 2 plus 3,
1. Positive 1.
positive 1. And then just rewrite my denominator. Now, is it already in the simplest form?
No.
Reduce to those terms. Can I reduce? Is there any factor in common? X plus 1, x minus 3, x minus 1?
No.
That means
If there-
stop it, right?
Yes.
It's already in the simplest form. Okay? Now, this one. This is the perfect example of rational expression. Okay? How do you call this mathematical expression? It's a polynomial, right? But it has 3 terms. Trinomial, okay? So it's a polynomial. Rational expressions is defined as the ratio of 2 algebraic expressions, okay? Rational expressions. Now, before I find my LCD, my least common denominator, I need to factor if it's possible. Okay? Let me try it. So, first of all, what is my A in this case? Right?
Just
This is my B, this is my C. Now, what coefficient represents A?
1.
Just 1, right? There's no number in front of the letter, okay? The variable. Okay, 1. For B, negative 1. And for C, it's negative 6. Now we know that we have to also, so the factor is 1 and 6. So I multiply, right?
1 times.
A times 6 times C,
-6.
-6.
And then B.
And for the B term, it's just
Negative
add,
1.
right? We have to add
Mhm.
in order to get -1. Now, what two factors multiplied give me -6? Two
1
factors.
times
Give me A.
-6.
Which one?
1 times -6.
No, -3 times.
Negative.
Let's try 1 to -6. 1 to -6 gives me -6, right?
Yeah.
But if I combine those terms, if I add in, what do I get?
-5.
-5, right? So it doesn't work, right, in this case. What is the another option?
2 minus 3.
No,
Or
2 times
-3.
2 minus 3. 2, positive 2, times -3. 2 times -3, -6. If I combine 2 positive, 3 negative, what do I get?
-1.
-1.
-1. So in this case, it works, right? It's -1. Now let's try the area method. What comes in the first square,
That's x².
which is my A? For my C, All right.
-6.
-6. And we have the two factors, right? Which is 2 and -3, right?
2x and
It's
-3x.
2x minus 3x.
2x minus 3x. Okay, now, very clean. What do they have in common? X squared minus 3x.
X.
Only the x, right?
Yeah.
How about 2x and -6?
2.
2. How about the cross?
X.
Only the x, right? You pick the smallest power, exponent. And the one on the bottom,
-3.
so we know the factors in this case gonna be, we have x2, it's positive, right?
Yeah.
And what is my other factor?
X.
X minus 3.
X minus.
Whoa. What? Why minus?
Because it's
Minus 3.
Oh, that's because in the bottom it doesn't have it.
It's already here, okay?
Yes, my bad.
X minus 3.
My bad.
Okay, so my factors are x plus 2, what else?
X minus 3.
Now, how about the other fractions, the other expressions? I have an x squared plus 4x plus 4.
You gotta do the same thing.
Can you find the factors first?
No. You have to use the A.
Can you tell me? So, what's my first step?
A times C.
A times C, the factors, and my B. So, what is A, what is C? But the coefficient of A is, the coefficient of C is,
4.
and what's my B?
4.
So what is 1 times 4?
4.
And my B is 4. Now, I'm going to call one of you. Is Angel here? Angel? What's the next step? Okay? What are the options, the good options?
1 times 4.
1 times 4. What's the following step?
You add them, so 5.
So, does that work?
No.
It's not right, it's not a good option. Okay. Now we'll call is Lynette here? Lynette?
Leo? No.
What's next? Another option. Positive or negative? What's next? Does it work?
Yes, that's one.
Okay. Now, I need to fill. Leo here?
No.
How about child? So what's the next step?
X squared in the first box. The
So
A,
x squared, okay?
and then 4 goes in the last box, the other box.
Okay.
And then 2 goes in that box, 2x, and then 2x goes in the other box.
Good. Is Lucero here? So what else? What's the next step?
There's an X on top of the X squared
For the reason,
because the equals X.
we have to find, right, something in common, which is the x. What's
There's
next?
an X on the left of the X squared to the right of X.
Here? How about the second column? Is 2, right? And for the one on the bottom is. So what are my factors,
X plus 2.
right?
X
Are they
plus 2
positive?
squared.
Yes.
Can it be like that, X plus squared?
Okay, so. Now, what are the factors for s plus 2 plus 4x plus 4?
X plus 2.
X plus 2. Twice, right? Okay. These are the factors for x, the first rational expression. This is for the second. We need to find the LCD, okay? We have x plus 2, x plus 3, and this one has 2, right?
That's
A
right.
pair of x plus 2.
So squared.
So you can, or you can say x plus 2, x minus 3. This one has 2, right? Only have 1, so I need to add another one, okay? X plus 2. Now, in the first rational expression, what am I missing in the denominator part to make it equal? What am I missing here?
Oh, X plus 2.
Because I have 2, right, for the LCD.
Yes.
Whatever I'm missing to make it equal, I have to apply it, right, to its respective numerator. So I have to multiply times x plus 2. How about the other rational expression?
You, X plus 3.
That's what I'm missing, right? Okay. Okay. Now, I go. My next step is, let's multiply, right? Distribute. 5x times x.
5x squared.
5x times 2.
10. 6.
10x. Positive or negative? You have to be careful with the negative or positive signs. How about here? I have negative 4. And I distribute, right? Negative 4 times x.
Negative 4X.
How about the one? Negative 3.
Negative
12.
Positive 2.
No, positive.
Positive 12?
Yes.
Am I done or is it already simple? Is it already
You
simple?
combine my terms.
Combine the terms? Okay, let me just, is Ariana here?
No.
about Laura? Can you tell us? Which one? Which is equal? Positive or negative? Positive, right? Okay, so we start with 5x squared, and then she mentioned we have to combine, we have to add positive 10x, negative 4x, which is 6x, and just bring down the 12. And here, we can stop there, okay, because this is, so you have to make sure that it's already is in the simplest form, reduced to the lowest term, okay? So this is the final solution, okay? I'm gonna jump to the section B, okay? Go to the next page.
6 plus 12.
Remember, it's important to simplify it, okay? Rational expression. It's about more about factor, find the LCD, and the final answer has to be in the simplest form, reduced to the lowest term. It's the same thing with the fraction. Okay? We have an expression here, right? We don't have nothing to combine. So in this case, you just need to factor if it's possible. Once again, we have a polynomial, right? So, in this case, once again, we need to factor. So we have my A times C, what is my A?
1.
My C? And for my B, it's 10, right? So 1 times 25 is 25. So I need two factors that multiply give me 25 and combine gives me 10. So what are my best option? Two factors that multiply give me 25, and when you add them, 5 times 5, right? Simple. So we create the box. So what goes in the first square?
X first,
Square,
and then 25.
25 for the C. And how about the rest?
5x.
We have the same, right? The same factor. What's next?
X. Then go ahead and find.
We need to
the common.
find, right, the first, in the first column. And for the second column,
5.
how about the cross? So we can say, right, we can see that the factors are
The same. X and 5.
x plus 5, x plus 5, right?
Yes.
How about 2x plus 10? Is there any factor for 2x and 10? Is there any, pay attention to the coefficients. The coefficient is the number that appears before the x, the letter. 2 and 10, do they have a common divisor?
2.
2, right? They're even. So if I factor 2x, what do I have? 2 times what give me 2x? Just x. What's next? Plus 5. Can I simplify that expression? Is there anything in common between the numerator and the denominator?
X plus 5.
X plus 5. So I cross one of them. And my final answer is 2 over x plus 5. Now, remember that the main rule for division is that what happens in the denominator?
You have to.
We have to make sure that the denominator what? Can be,
You go to.
say it again?
E over 0.
Right, we can have something like this. Right? So if you, so I want to find what value for x make the denominator 0. So what is a good approach? Whatever you have for the denominator, how do I find the value for x?
Subtract the 5.
Subtract, right? Subtract. Then cancel 0 minus 5. So my x is not allowed to be negative 5, right? Otherwise, I'm gonna get a 0, right? And I can't, right? I can't. Let's move to the section C, okay? Because the time. Okay. Now, last Tuesday, you saw adding, right? Rational expressions. And today we are subtracting, right?
Yes.
We're gonna apply both methods, okay? Once again, in rational expression, you need to find
The least
the least common
Denominator.
denominator, right? Pay attention to the coefficients. What is the coefficient of 5n? 5. So I have 5, 4, and 10. What is the least common multiple for 5, 4, and 10? 20. Say that or look at here. 20. She said 20. Is that 20?
Yes.
Sure. Wait. What else am I missing from the denominator part?
You gotta multiply by.
The n, right? Now, I have 1, 5n. To make it equal, what do I do to the 5n? Times 4, right? Only times 4. What's next? Whatever you apply to the denominator, I do to the top. I have 3, 4. But it's negative, right? What factor I need to multiply 4 to get equal to 29? 20 and
Negative 5.
Negative 5.
Oh, I mean the negative. Just 4 times what give me 20
Oh,
and
5.
5, just 5?
Oh, 5 and
5n, right? I apply to the denominator, which is negative 3 times 5n equals about the following. 10n.
Wait, 2.
2. So what is my result here?
14.
14. So I made it equal, right? They're equivalent. So what's next?
You put them on top. You
So
combine them.
tell me what are the numbers?
18, 4,
4 what? Just 4?
negative
4 what else?
minus 15, and
plus 14 plus 15.
What is my final answer?
18, oh, negative 15 and plus 18.
Negative 15 and
Plus 18.
is it already the simplest form or do I need to reduce? Is there any factor they have in common? 15, 18, and 20?
8, 3. Wait, no.
I mentioned early. You have an odd number and you have two even numbers. There's no way. Right? Now, with your partner, the handouts there are two different problems, okay? So you go to the third page.
Yeah.
And one of them has a triangle. You want to apply rational expression into real life application, okay? So we have the triangle first. Those who have the triangle, I'm going to give you the factors, okay, because of time. The factor for the x squared minus 1 are x plus 1, x minus 1. What type of triangle is this one?
Isosceles. No.
That means what?
Two sides are equal.
So this side is equal to what?
12 over x plus 1.
What is asking?
The perimeter.
Find it. Okay? Those who have the triangle problem. Okay? You have to what? Add. Okay? Remember, these are the factors. Now, for those who have the following. You have a rectangular shaped swimming pool. Okay? And it mentioned that the perimeter is 15.3 wide. And the width is 5.3x. Just substitute and apply to the formula. We need to find 12, something like this. 12 equals something. In algebraic expression, okay? That's for the problem for the perimeter. So we have two problems. If you can finish, you can present to the board if it's possible, okay? We have 5 minutes. Because hopefully you can do more problems, okay? Those who have the triangle problem and the one with the rectangular shape. Remember, we just need to find the 2L. Just substitute whatever you have. What is your perimeter?
15 over 3y.
And what is my width?
Minus 5 over, means plus 5 over 3.
5 or 12, okay? 5 minutes. If it's possible. Just apply whatever we've been doing, okay? This is about subtracting. The first one is about adding, okay? Don't forget about this common denominator.
What?
What? Okay, may I have attention, please? Shadow's gonna show us the first form, okay?
여기 자샤.
Those who have the triangle problem. What?
This is the same size, 12x plus 1 plus 12x plus 1 plus 15x over x plus 1 x minus 1. And so you find the factors for that one. X plus 1, and so you have to multiply it by x minus 1. So you do the bottom, you do the top. So you equal x plus 1, x minus 1. So that's 12x minus 12. And so this is the same as that. So it's 12x minus 12 plus 12x minus 12 plus 15x over x plus 1 x minus 1. And you combine like terms. So it's 39x. Minus 24 over x plus 1 x minus 1.
And that's the answer, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so one more time, can you go to try the last problem, the exit ticket? You only have like 4 minutes, please. It's just to find it's about finding remember for the most important rule for division, especially fractions. I'm gonna give you the answer. Okay? What value for x makes the denominator 0? Okay? Try to find it, please. You got 5 minutes. Try whatever you can, okay? Just the last problem, okay? Because I need the part.
I had the idea.
Okay, you want to know the answer for the problem with the rectangular shape? This is the answer, okay? So I think it's the last page. I can't hit with that part, so. Remember, just it says equal to 0, okay? You have to factor. You have to factor that part, the denominator part. Is there any factor between 4x squared and negative 2x? Okay, okay, I need the last part, the last page, please. You can have it. You can have it. Whatever you do. Because it's about time. Just, no, yeah. Because I need for a minute. This one? Yeah. Whatever you do.
Yeah, me too. I think the last
Right here.
Yeah, it's easy.
That's fine. Okay, class. I have a touch of this. Okay, so it's been a pleasure, okay? So hopefully you enjoy this class and see you. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, that one is
Bye, Miss Dundee. Have a good Easter.
Guys, your grades are finalized on Skyward. What's there is your average for the 6 weeks.